Hey there, this is Teacher Ola Podcast, episode 108, Have to versus Must. Modals. My name's Ola and I'm an English teacher. My goal is to help you start speaking English with confidence and get rid of speaking barriers. It's time you started speaking English fearlessly. I've been there. I was unable to speak English for many reasons that now I call a language blockade. Today, I teach people like you how to speak English with confidence. Go to my website for full transcripts and worksheets to each episode. Happy learning! Hello again, thanks for choosing my podcast. Today we're going to clarify the whole mess around have to and must. Let me say this straight, you overuse the word must. We have to fix that. First, I'll tell you why I think you overuse the word must, and then we'll look closer at have to and must. We'll see the negative forms, past forms, and we'll practice, so please stay for the sentences to repeat out loud. Students love must for the fact that it's easy. It doesn't change for each person. I must, she must, and it looks similar to the Polish musieć. Must is in fact declining in common usage, and we should be mindful of that. It just sounds odd on many occasions. For instance, I must go. Well, sounds odd. I have to go. I have to go sounds more natural. Must is very common, but as a model of probability. We talked about this in detail in episode 104. Check it out because it's important. Using must as a model verb of probability is popular and we should use it this way. Tune in to episode 104, teacherola.com/104. Must as a modal of obligation is used mostly in writing and formal contexts exclusively. I'll come back to this later. However, in modern, spoken, colloquial, everyday English, people are much more likely to use have to for obligation. My recommendation is avoid using must for obligation. Have to mainly expresses general obligations, strong obligations, possibly from outside, external obligations. Children have to go to school. They are obliged to go there. It is necessary for them to do it. Look at me. I have to wear glasses or contact lenses. I'm not telling you I like it or I don't. All you know now is that it's necessary for me to wear them. That's it. Picture this. You're having breakfast with your family, your kid doesn't want to go to kindergarten, and he'd rather stay at home, but you have to work. You start your work in 30 minutes. What do you say to your child? How about this? I have to go to work. I have to be there in 30 minutes. We have to move faster. You have to finish your breakfast now. One more situation to imagine. You've just come back from work and you're hungry. You open your cupboards and fridge and see they're empty. What do you say? You may say, we have to go shopping. The cupboards are empty. It's necessary for you to go shopping, otherwise you'll starve. I must tell you, you're not a very well organized person. Negative now. Well, the negative form of have to is not have to. Brilliant. That should be easy, right? Imagine you're about to visit a museum and you're wondering whether the museums are open now and what are the restrictions around them, and you find out that you don't have to wear a mask while visiting this particular museum. So there's no need to wear a mask in this museum. You still can do it, but you're not obliged to wear it. What about the past? What's the past form of have to? It's had to. Let's say you explain to your friend why you couldn't call him as you had promised. You were busy all week at work and someone called an urgent meeting and you couldn't call your friend. What do you say? Something along these lines. I had to be at the meeting. I had to participate in the discussion. I had to organize a schedule. It wasn't your idea. It's not your personal opinion, and it wasn't necessary for you to attend the meeting. That's it. Someone in authority called a meeting and you had to go. Let's see one question with have to and in the past. For instance, Your colleague asks you to give him a helping hand. You are surprised because she had had a lot on her plate, and you're shocked she took on more duties. And you ask her, did you have to accept this task? Did you have to take on this responsibility? Must also expresses obligation, but what's different is that this time this obligation doesn't come from the outside. You are internally motivated to do something. You say that you think it's necessary. It's your opinion. Please remember what I said before. Using must in this meaning is disappearing from language, and this may sound unnatural, okay? Still, I want to teach you this because I just feel like knowledge is the key, and if you know this, then it's easier for you to understand people. Using must for exaggeration, for emphasis, is still valid. Picture this. You're sitting in your living room and enjoying the silence. Casually, you look through the window and it's dirty. What do you say to yourself? Maybe nothing. Maybe you don't even notice, but you might want to say, I must clean these windows. Nobody wants me to do it. It's just me. I want to have them cleaned. I must clean these windows. I highlight the fact I see this as a must. It seems illogical that you don't use must for other people, only for yourself. You can't tell anyone what they think or want. Remember, yet again, must is becoming less popular as an obligation, and don't use it with others, only for recommendations. Yes, there is one good reason for using must. That is giving strong recommendations. You know your friend will love this TV series or Netflix because he or she is such a great fan of this actor. So what do you say? You must watch this series. You must check this film out. You must visit that restaurant. You love it. Negative. There's some confusion because mustn't means there is an obligation for you not to do it. It's necessary that you don't do this. Let's imagine you want to organize a surprise birthday party for your granny and you tell all family members, you mustn't tell her what we're preparing. It's a secret. You mustn't tell her. As you can see, must and have to are quite similar. They both express an obligation, but their opposites, mustn't and don't have to, are completely different. You don't have to go to the cinema. You can, but you don't have to. You mustn't enter this room. It's forbidden. Only staff members can go in. What about the past tense of must? As an obligation, must doesn't have its own form. It changes into had to. I had to watch it. I had to clean my windows. I had to tell you. I need to tell you one last thing, something that is counterintuitive when compared with the rules I've just said, because now you know that must is somewhat personal, right? Well, not in written rules. On the other hand, it makes a lot of sense because I told you that must is declining from the use and becomes strictly attached to official warnings, notices, rules, or instructions. Written rules in public places like airports, they use must. Why? How to memorize this? Think that those written rules need to be concise and short. They need to contain as few letters as possible. They have to be short, clear, and simple. The fewer words, the better. For example, you must keep your luggage near you. You must send this form in 3 days. And a few examples of prohibition. Students must not leave bicycles here. Visitors must not smoke. Finally, we've arrived at the point where you do the talking. Please listen carefully, don't multitask, just focus. Try to memorize the sentence and repeat it out loud. Later, tomorrow perhaps, complete the worksheet, okay? Let's begin. Children have to go to school. Children have to go to school. I have to wear glasses. I have to wear glasses. We have to move faster. We have to move faster. We have to go shopping. The cupboards are empty. We have to go shopping. The cupboards are empty. You don't have to wear a mask while visiting this particular museum. You don't have to wear a mask while visiting this particular museum. I had to participate in the discussion. I had to participate in the discussion. Did you have to take on this responsibility? Did you have to take on this responsibility? I must clean these windows. I must clean these windows. I have to eat something. I have to eat something. You must call her. You must call her. You must see it. You must see it. You must visit that restaurant. You'll love it. You must visit that restaurant. You'll love it. You mustn't enter this room. It's forbidden. Only staff members can go in. You mustn't enter this room. It's forbidden. Only staff members can go in. I had to tell you. I had to tell you. Well done. I hope this episode will help you limit your usage of modal verb must, or at the least narrow it for strong recommendations and official rules. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go to your inbox and grab the worksheet. That's your homework. If you're not a member, download the worksheet at teacherola.com/108 and become one. It's free. It's worth subscribing because in my emails, I give you exclusive content and worksheets every week. Again, thank you for listening, and please share this episode with just one person, your friend, your family member. Let's spread the message. No matter what, you can start speaking English fearlessly. There's zero doubt about it. I'll see you here next Wednesday. Come here next week and see how to expand your comfort zone when it comes to speaking a foreign language. Happy learning! Take care, stay fearless, and say it out loud. Bye!